Good morning, YouTube. Even when a cop enters a black man's apartment in Dallas, Texas, and shoots him dead, claiming to have mistaken that black man's apartment for her own. Even when off-duty cops, in essence, break into someone's home and shoot them point blank dead, even then, when a white cop shoots a black person dead in their own home, even then, they receive preferential treatment. Even then, the authorities drag their feet in arresting them and charging them, like they finally did with Officer Geiger. Not sure if I'm saying the name right. From Dallas, Texas, who broke into a black man's home, mistaking his apartment for hers. That's some real good shit she was on. And shooting him dead. She was finally arrested and charged, but even after she's charged with manslaughter, even after she's finally charged, even after the slow wheels of justice begin to perhaps spin a little faster, right? Even after she's finally charged with manslaughter, she is bonded out like that. Something that would not be afforded to you or me. Bonded out like that. Now, take that very same incident, an example of how cops, even when they commit murder, are afforded preferential treatment, special treatment. You with me? Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Stay with me. Now take that, and for those of you from Rochester, New York, or those of you who follow, obviously, my channel, my blog, the Davy V blog, and even if you're not from this area, but you may be familiar with the incident of Rochester, New York police officers Spencer McAvoy and Michael Sipple, who back in May, way back in May, beat a black man, Christopher Pate, so bad that they fractured his face, tased him, arrested him, because he jaywalked. And because they claim he fit the description of another black man that they were looking for. Now, keep in mind the incident in Dallas. Don't put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Because it's more of the same. It's another example of the preferential treatment that cops receive, even when they're caught red-handed, even when it's clear that they have been involved in criminal activity. Keep in mind the Dallas case. Keep in mind. Keep that right in your mind. Now, to continue with the Rochester, New York police officers, Spencer McAvoy and Michael Sipple. At some point, the chief of police, who interestingly enough just announced that he's stepping down, but according to him and the mayor has nothing to do with the case of the two cops, who, by the way, body cam, Rochester, New York Police Department body cam captured the incident. And according to not only the mayor, but the chief, who together held a press conference, not only denouncing the disgusting acts of these two cops who beat a black man so bad that they fractured his face, but going as far as doing something which I have never seen in my 20 plus years of doing this, 20 plus years of exposing corruption and misconduct on behalf of police officers. Not only did the mayor, Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren, and Rochester, New York Police Chief Michael Simonelli both denounced these actions, said they were disturbed and disgusted by the actions of these two cops, but also announced that they were suspended with pay, something that's unheard of. Because we all know that when a cop does wrong, right? What do they receive? They receive a paid vacation. They're suspended with pay, which in essence means they get to stay home and still collect their check. But not in this case. Again, Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren and Rochester, New York Police Chief Michael Simonelli both together held a press conference saying they were disgusted and disturbed by the actions of these cops, and then furthermore that they were suspended without pay. What's good, Nord? Light them up, Davy. That's right. Straight fire with these motherfuckers, always. And I apologize for the comments I missed. I'm in the zone, but I appreciate everyone tuning in. So let's recap. Not only does Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren and Rochester, New York Police Chief Michael Simonelli hold a news conference together, a joint news conference, to denounce the actions of these cops, something that's almost never heard of. What? Police chief, mayor denouncing cops, not protecting them? What? And then announcing that they were suspended without pay. Wait, what? Stop the fucking presses. Wait, what? Let me get this straight. What? What do you mean? Cops are actually suspended without pay? Are you kidding me? Wait. So they won't get to stay home and collect money. What? Oh, wow. But that's what Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren did. Suspended them without pay. And then, are you ready for this? Hold on. You ready? Thirdly, I like doing that. Thirdly, Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren announces that she has, along with the chief of police, Michael Simonelli, RPD chief, handed over the case to the Monroe County District Attorney's Office for criminal prosecution, for criminal charges to be brought against these two thugs with badges. One more recap. Denounce the actions of these cops. Suspend these cops without pay. And turn over the case to the Monroe County, New York District Attorney's Office for criminal prosecution? I have never seen that. That trifecta right there, never seen in Rochester, New York history. Not the denouncing, the clear denouncing of these actions, including adding comments like disturbed at seeing the video, which hasn't been released yet, the body cam video, And trust me, it has to be bad. That video, when it comes out, you'll see it here. You will see it here. That video of those cops beating a black man so bad that they fractured his face. Can you imagine how vicious you have to beat a human being to fracture bones in their face? They're tasing them and falsely arresting them and racially profiling them and violating their rights. And for the past 2+ weeks since that press conference, which, by the way, don't forget, this incident happened in May. The chief saw it back then or shortly after the incident. The mayor knew about it because there's no way that the chief, who answers to the mayor, a chief of police is under a mayor. A chief of police is a puppet answering to the mayor of any city or the supervisor of any town. So don't forget that. They dragged their feet for months. And then in August, a couple of weeks ago, they finally held the news conference. But since then, and by the way, real quick, let's be clear. The chief saw the video way back. Again, the incident happened in May. So as the chief of police, he has the responsibility, the duty to charge his own officers if he sees a crime, to arrest them. But he didn't until it built up, and finally, months later after the incident, they finally held the press conference announcing again, denouncing it, the actions of these cops, suspending them without pay. Just want to drill that and make sure that's clear. And turning over the case for criminal prosecution. In other words, for these two cops, these two thugs, bullies, fucking cowards with badges, to be arrested and charged for their crimes. Their crimes they committed under the color of law. That means while on duty as servants, as public servants, as police officers, they committed a crime against this man. Several crimes. Several violations of his civil rights. And I want you still in the back of your mind to stay with me and remember the Dallas case that I started the video with. How the cop there received preferential treatment, and even after she was finally arrested, still received preferential treatment by being offered bond like that. She was hardly in jail an hour, I think. Out. So, with the case of the Rochester, New York police officers, the Monroe County, New York District Attorney's Office has had the case, has reviewed the video, has told local media that they would make a decision as quickly as possible. Crickets. Fucking crickets. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. Why does it take so long for two Rochester, New York cops who were captured on their own body cam video beating a black man so bad that they fractured his face, violating his civil rights, tasing him, falsely arresting him, racially profiling him? A video that has to be so bad that the mayor of the city, the person who runs the city of Rochester, the person who is over the cops, over the chief, her along with the chief both denounce the actions of these cops. That's how bad that video is. That is how clear-cut it is what these cops did. And then according to the mayor and the chief, criminal, the word criminal behavior. So what's taking so long? Why haven't these two cops been charged? The Monroe County, New York District Attorney, by the way, has two options. She can indict, she can charge herself. She has that power. That's what district attorneys do, in case you don't know. She can bring charges herself against these two cops, which she should have already done. Again, keep in mind, criminal behavior that the mayor and the chief both denounced. After Lovely Warren, the Rochester, New York Mayor Lovely Warren, for years condoning police abuse, she felt it was in her best interest politically to be clear about this will not be tolerated. Even though it is tolerated, because this is just that one big case that she couldn't hide or sweep under the rug. It's all political. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It's all political. But that's what she did. She did denounce it. So the Monroe County, New York District Attorney can do two things. She can charge the cops herself, which she has so far refused to do. Or she can present the case to a grand jury for them to indict these cops. Well, let me slow down. For them to decide if these two cops should be indicted. Which we all know how much grand juries love cops, right? I mean, grand jury is composed of citizens, and we all know how much citizens, some of them are watching right now, are cop apologists, and cops can do no wrong kind of folks. So be careful with the grand jury, because we all know where that could go. My point is, nothing has happened. After a joint press conference from the mayor and the Rochester, New York police chief, nothing has happened, even after they turned the case over to the Monroe County, New York District Attorney's Office. And for those watching, and those who are quick to say, oh, Davy V's being unfair. Davy V just hates the cops. Davy V has an axe to grind. Again, we're talking about a case so disturbingly criminal in actions by these two cops that both the mayor and the chief, their boss, denounced their actions, along with calling it criminal, along with suspending them without pay, along with turning the case over to the Monroe County, New York District Attorney's Office for charges. Basically saying, hey, here's the case. These two cops employed by the city of Rochester, who took a sworn oath to protect and serve the community, just committed criminal actions by beating an innocent man and fracturing his face. They're basically saying, here, district attorney, nothing. Again, preferential treatment that cops receive, even when they're caught red-handed. Why does it take so long to charge two criminal thug cops? Two criminal thug Rochester, New York cops. Why does it take so long to charge these thugs? Why?